Yerp, was goody team, was goody team. Really just wanted to turn the stream on to again give you guys the insight as to what I'm looking for, why I'm looking for what I'm looking for. Um, and again, this is mainly a lot of these pairs are just a continuation of what we talked about last night, right? So AU, for example, gave us 3 days of drop, gave us a drop knowing it on the third day, gave us the fourth day push. I'm not expecting price to give me another clean entry to continue the downtrend pushes. Right, remember what we said yesterday, and I'm keeping an eye on the time as well because I want to look at US 30 at the NYC open at 9:30. Um, we know that AU is giving us a little shoulder head shoulder, right? So I know that for AU, before I could even look for an entry, I want to see price give us a break below these lows to then continue the downtrend push, right? So right now for AU, just taking a step back, not really trading it. AUD CAD very similar when it comes to the structure. We had 3 days of drop, gave us on the third day a drop no net, gave us that fourth day push yesterday. I'm not expecting another entry for today, right? So AUD CAD is one. I already know I'm gonna skip to it. Gonna skip it. We'll wait for price to give us another entry, wait for price to give us another continuation, and then I'll start getting into those trades. Rise and shine, Buttercup. Was goody, Kendall? How long we got? 2 minutes. All right. Euro AUD. We've had multiple days of continuation, right? We had 4 days already. For today, again, price didn't give us that valid break of the highs yesterday, so I'm not really expecting anything out of Euro AUD for today either. Gonna wait it out. I'll wait for price to give us a valid break of these highs. Once we get a valid break, I'll start getting into those trades. Euro CAD, we're in previous peak highs on the 30-minute structure. We're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Price came up to the 800 EMA, respected the 800, gave us a lower high. Internal time frame, we could start seeing how price started giving us lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So Euro CAD moving counter trend, I'm not gonna trade it. Right, I'm gonna wait for a continuation. If price would have given us 2 days of rise, right? If price on Monday would have given us the first day of rise, and then Tuesday would have given us a second day of rise break above the 800, then today I would have been expecting price to give me that third day push, another push to the top side. Right, adding that to what we are seeing right now with the EMAs, 50s below the 200, internal time frame on today, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, everything is downtrending. So EuroCAD, I already know this is a pair I'm not going to be that interested in yet. I'll wait for price to give me the valid breaks. I'll wait for price to start trending. Then I'll get into that trade. We got 55 seconds. Euro USD gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, but then came down and gave us a change of character, lower low. As soon as the markets opened for Asia session, price just went all the way down and hit STP for the day. Euro USD, there's nothing to trade. GA, ADR has already been hit. There's nothing to trade. GCAD, same thing. Everything already hit ADR. By the time Asia session opened, straight down, straight to the ADR, there's nothing left. GJ, same thing. STP for GJ was hit, right? But this one was hit at the end of Asia going into London session. GU, as soon as the Asia session market started, it went straight down, hit ADR for the day. There's nothing to trade. NZD USD, we're still stuck in the zone of consolidation, waiting to see what price wants to do. If we get a continuation down to the bottom, that's what I'll be looking to take. Let's take a look at US 30 now. Now with US 30 and why I'm looking at US 30 and what I want to see, right now, let's get back in the mode of looking at Forex Factory, right? So right now for today, we know we have no news. Today's a clean day. Tomorrow, just to look at what we're looking at for tomorrow, we have news at 8:30 in the morning, and then Friday's a clean day. So for the rest of the week, we should be pretty good for the rest of the week to look for some trades, right? So for US 30, once again, we know that price wanted to come up and give us a higher high on the daily time frame, but didn't give us a valid break, which is okay. On the 4-hour, it gave us a valid break. It gave us a higher high. We have 3 weeks of rise. This week, I'm not expecting price to give us another push to the top side. I'm expecting price to either go down or give us a no net. Right now, price went down. Cool. Could price for the rest of the week go back up and finish still on a no net for the week? Absolutely. Understanding we're still in a higher high, higher low position on the 4-hour. And on the 30-minute time frame, same thing. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Price yesterday went down, gave us another higher low point. Now we're waiting to see, okay, cool. Is price going to go lower to give us a steeper higher low point, tap into the 800 EMA, tap into the previous 30-minute zones, or is this where price is going to give us the higher low to continue into the higher high? And you guys could see I was already getting my charts ready. I wanted to see if we were to get a change of character break of structure on the lower time frame, but that's not the case for today. Right, on the 5-minute, 1-minute time frame, we're still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price just started consolidating from the end of the NYC session and yesterday's session going into today. And we could already see how the market's moving as soon as the market's open. Right, it looks like price wants to give us a nice little 30-minute engulfing candle. We'll have to wait 28 minutes for that. On the 15-minute time frame, we'll have to wait another 13 minutes for this one to print. On the 5-minute time frame, we have another engulfing candle. Let's see if it's valid. Red candle does not have a top wick, so it's not a valid engulfing candle. And on the 1-minute, the second red candle did not close below the first red candle's wick, and the green candle does not have a bottom wick. So there's no valid engulfing candles on the lower time frames. We'll just have to wait this out, and that's okay. Right, so now what am I really looking for and what do I want to see? I want to see a 5-minute change of character. I want to see a 5-minute break of structure after the change of character. That tells us and gives us the green light to understand that this is where price is going to go from making higher high, higher low, higher high to give us this set higher low to then continue the push to the top side. To continue back up in to make another higher high point. So that's what I'm waiting for. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on STP. We're keeping an eye on ADR for the day as well. Right, STP for my bad, I don't know, my keyboard wasn't typing. STP for US 30 today is what, 324? So let's calculate this real quick. How many pips have we done already? Right, and by the time price gives us that change of character on the 5-minute time frame, STP will be hit already. So we'll come back to this. We'll just go look at the other pairs real quick. USD CAD, we're stuck in this little zone of consolidation still. I'm not trading USD CAD. USDs are still moving counter trends, so it's another one that I'm not trading either. Let's take a look at gold. Right, what is gold doing? Gold for this last week has just been moving sideways, rejecting lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, coming back up to the highs. It's just moving sideways. Right, so gold is another pair for me that I'm not currently trading. I'm waiting for price to start trending. Once we start trending, that's when I'll start looking to take those trades. Bitcoin is another one. Bitcoin is another one that I'm not currently trading, so I'm just going to skip over this one. And then US oil already hit ADR for the day. Right, and again, I wanted to turn the stream on so you guys could see again the reality of what trading looks like on most days. On most days, you're going to get on the chart, especially in these type of market conditions. Again, don't forget that you have different market conditions. Right now, what type of market condition are we in? For a lot of these pairs, is just a ranging market. It's just a consolidation point in the market. I'm okay with missing out on that. I don't need to force any trades. I don't need to make believe that I see something that I really don't just because I want to take a trade. It's super simple. You follow your rules. You know that after ADR is hit or after STP is hit, if you trade NYC session and you wake up and ADR and STP is hit, get away from the charts. If price is consolidating and there's no trend, get away from the charts. Right? If you go and you look at the chart and there's something left, like for example, the only pair that was left with some type of moves was US 30, cool. Take advantage of it. How do you take advantage of it? Start looking for your entry points. Is price trending? Did it give you a change? Did it give you a break? Did you get any engulfing candles? Did you get the crossings of the EMAs? All these things you have to be able to see in real time. You have to be able to know it, so then once it starts happening on the charts, you know, okay, cool, boom. This is where I'm going to start looking to take my trades. So, that's really the only reason I wanted to turn the stream on, is just so you guys could see, like, I know it's different when you guys read it in the Discord, like, oh, this guy just doesn't want to trade. I know it looks that way. So that's why I wanted to turn the stream on, show you guys, like, look, it's really not that complicated. It's really not. It's complicated having to wait, absolutely. Having to wait, being bored, nothing's happening. I get it. It's very boring. But this is the market conditions that we're in. And again, it's nothing new. Again, I gave you guys homework about 2, 3 weeks ago. Nobody has turned it in yet. Go back test the last couple years in this from the month of September all the way to December, and go look at the market conditions. On every single pair that we trade, go do your back test for the last 5 years. From 2020 all the way to now, 2025. And you guys will see that this is nothing new. This happens all the time. It's the same market behaviors. Once you start understanding the market behaviors and when they happen and why, trading gets so much easier. Because now you know, okay, cool, we're entering into this position in the market. We know that this usually happens during this time. I know I have to be a little bit more patient before taking trades. And that's all it really is. So, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll stay on till about 10 o'clock or until pretty much US 30 is done for the day. Um, if you guys have any questions, any specific pairs you want me to go over, anything you want me to explain, anything that you guys saw, let me know. I did November's volatile and December's chop fest. Yep. Yeah, the times I'll say from like November to December, the times that you'll really see a lot of volume is obviously, before Thanksgiving, which is, and then you'll also see it after Thanksgiving, after Black Friday, after Cyber Monday, and then that week there'll be a lot of volume. December, it's an on and off thing, where the week leading into Christmas, right, and then the week leading into New Year's, you usually have a lot of more volume as well. And then the first week of January is 50-50, at least again for my perspective, because this year's January, February, March for this year was picture perfect. But January, February, March from last year wasn't that good compared to how it was this year. Um, so sometimes, you have a little differences, but for the most part, is usually the same across the board. But yeah, guys, any questions? Once again, any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. Anything you guys took today, any trades you guys took in these last weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that you want me to go over, that you want me to share with the stream. You guys want me to explain anything, let me know. Um, I gotta, my bad. I gotta spend this year on putting focus on just executing. That US 30 trade yesterday helped a lot. Yeah, yeah. Again, it all comes with time, especially with US 30, right? It's being able to being able to see the same thing happen, but on bigger and different pairs, right? So it's like again, the way you would execute a smaller pair, you could do that with US 30. But you have to get used to the fact that US 30 just moves a little bit quicker. It's going to give out a lot more fake outs. And that's what, the last streams that we've done, most, I will say 90% of the streams that we've done from, I'll say, what, October to now, maybe even September to now, has been us pretty much, whenever I look at US 30, you guys have seen it. Like, from 8:45 all the way till 10, what's happening with the candlesticks? Crazy wicks to the bottom, crazy wicks to the tops on the 30-minute time frame. If you go even lower to the 15 to 5-minute, even crazier wicks, right? So once you just familiarize yourself with the fact that, okay, we know that US 30 does that. So you know that US 30, you can't, in the example of a stop loss, right? And how you would enter without an engulfing candle, where you would put your stop loss in regards to market structure. You have to keep, this is why, again, this is why I always say the basics is the easiest thing, because if you're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Price gives you a lower high. The basics is that you're going to take a trade, right, at a lower high, and you're going to put your stop loss at the previous, I'm sorry, you're going to take the trade, right, on the push from the lower low to the lower high. You'll put your stop loss above the previous structure, and then your TP, at STP, whatever your TP profit is, right? That's the basic thing. So sometimes when you're trading bigger pairs, you have to just stick to the basics, right? Yes, I would love to have a fucking 20 pip stop loss, a 10 pip stop loss on US 30 and always catch a home run 1 to 20, 1 to 15. But sometimes that's not the case on US 30. Again, US 30 is a pair I respect to the max. If the stop loss is 60 pips, which again, on US 30 that's nothing, right? On US 30, again, this is a pair that moves 300, this is a pair that moves 485 pips on a day-to-day basis. So when you do the math, a 60 pip stop loss on a pair that moves 400 pips really is nothing. It's really nothing, right? But when you're trading a pair like AUD USD, a pair that moves 39 pips on a day-to-day basis, you don't want to have a 60 pip stop loss on AUD USD. You wouldn't make any profits, right? You wouldn't capitalize on your profits. But having a 60 pip stop loss on US 30, and then your TP is 190 pips, then you start like, oh shit, okay, cool. Again, is there times where you could have a 10 pip, 5 pip stop loss, a 15, a 20 pip stop loss on US 30? Absolutely. Especially if you get those engulfing candles, especially if you get those lower time frames, change of characters, break of structures. But sometimes you won't get that picture perfect entry every single time, right? Again, it's the way I've been explaining it, especially to my people who compete in gaming, is very simple. You're in the middle of a game, right? And you know that there's different routes you could take, there's different plays you can make, and that's all depending on not only who your teammates are, but who your opposing team is, the team you're playing against. If you know, I'll give you an example. If you know that the opposing team is the type of team to just run, you have two options. You either have option A, which is stay back, hold an iron, wait for them to run at you and kill them. Or you have option B, which a lot of people do because I don't know why, which is I'm just going to run at them too. They want to run at me, I'm going to run at them too. And then you get into a 50-50 situation where you're either going to kill them or they're going to kill you because you're both doing the same thing instead of trying to counter what they're trying to do. Right? So it's the same when you're thinking of it as the market makers. Right? When I'm trading US 30, what do I know about US 30? Yo, I know that US 30 loves to move. I know that US 30 loves to print out fake out candles. I know that US 30 loves to have a lot of volume and throw crazy wicks. So what am I going to do? Am I going to enter a trade and play aggressive and have a tight stop loss knowing that US 30 is going to hit my stop losses? Or am I going to do the second option, which is be patient, right? And use the patient entry, which is just market structure. Placing my stop loss in an area where I know price isn't going to fake out, isn't going to throw fake out candles. It's not going to throw inducement candles. It's not going to throw out crazy exhaustion candles and inducement candles to the top side or to the bottom side, depending on what entry you have. Right? So is the exact same thing. I've been getting better with being able to see what time frame to look for a trade on, mastering the basics. The basics is really the only thing you need, man. Once you master the basics, everything else gets so much simple. So much more simple once you master the basics. You already know lower low, lower high. Where are you putting your stop loss? You're putting your stop loss in the middle of the trend? No, because we know that those are liquidity grabs. And that's why again I say, like, I will always say it. Learn as much as you can from the market. Everybody has a piece of information that you're going to need. And again, if it wasn't for me learning about liquidity grabs and what they are and what they look and what they are and how they look like, I wouldn't be able to trade US 30. Because we know that US 30 has that momentum. We know that US 30 is going to fake out traders. We know that. It's not something that we're coming up with. It's not an assumption that we're making. No, it's a fact. And we know it's a fact because we've backtested. We've backtested so much to the point where we know exactly how US 30 moves. So since I already know that US 30 is that type of pair that's going to fake you out if you get into a trade too early, I know I'm just going to wait for the perfect time. And that perfect time is when all of my rules are being placed right in front of me. If none of my rules are being followed, I'm not going to take the trade. Right? So it's the same thing with right now. Like 5-minute structure, what did price do? It came up, tapped the 5-minute highs, gave you a little internal change of character to the top side. Does this mean, oh, look at the wick, it's above the 5-minute, this is a break, this is where price is going to give us higher high, higher low to continue? No. Why? Because I also know that we're right on the 800 EMA. These pushes to the top side could very well still be inducements. This could still just be the inducement for traders to think that price is going to continue to go up, right? Get everybody. The market just opened. Just think about it. The market makers just opened the fucking market for US 30. How many traders you think are already into these trades going long? So many. How many traders you think currently are in these long positions already for US 30? Right? Could they work out? Absolutely, because we understand that we're still technically trading on an uptrend for US 30. However, we also understand the bigger picture, which is, okay, there's really no clean indication that tells me price is going to continue this push to the top side. So because there's really no indication that's telling me that price is going to push up just yet, I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to miss this trade today. I'll give you guys the idea. Right? We know that price is on the 800. We know that price usually respects the 800 EMA. Price just gave us an inducement of the 5-minute highs. Would I rather wait for price to give us a break above the 800? Rather wait for price to give us a break and start uptrending, giving us the change of character break of structure on the 5-minute time frame. And then once it gives us that information, once it starts following those rules, then I get into the trade. Right? When they move, we move. It's not opposite. Right now, the market hasn't given me anything. Specifically on US 30, the market hasn't given me anything for me to say I'm going to take this trade. It hasn't given me an engulfing candle. It hasn't given me a break of structure. We're still trading lower low and lower high on the lower time frame. I'm okay with that. The only thing that US 30 has given us still is the fact that on the 30-minute, we're still on an uptrend, higher high, higher low. Right? And the question is, okay, once this higher low is set, how do we know that price is going to now make the uptrend push from the higher low to go into the higher high? Because again, price could continue to go a little bit steeper. It could continue to give you a steeper pullback. It could give you a higher low point at a lower place on the internal time frame. So for us to not get trapped on the lower time frames, you want to start seeing price uptrend. You want to start seeing price make higher highs and higher lows, which is what's going on right now. So some days on the market, you just have to wait it out. Be like, okay, cool. Today is not a day I'm gonna trade. Why? Because today is the day on US 30 where I want to start seeing price give me a change of character on the 5-minute time frame, and then I want to see price give me a break of structure, which is again, if price is trending lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. What I want to see before I take a trade is the change of character higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then I'll start getting into these trades to continue that uptrend push back to the top side, which is once again, if we go down to the 30-minute time frame, what does this look like when we're actually looking at it on the structure on the candlesticks? Price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high. Right? How many traders you think thought that price was going to give us higher low into the higher high? How many traders you think thought that this was going to be the higher low point to go into the higher high? How many traders you think currently think that this is where price is going to give you the higher low, right, to then make the higher high? Look how many times the market maker has trapped you this week, right? From the end of last week to this week, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. For 3 days, the market maker has trapped everybody who thought that this is going to be, oh, this is the higher low. No, this is the higher low. No, this is the higher low. Why? Every single time the market has given you these higher low points, did price start uptrending? No. On the lower time frame, it gave you a change of character. That's it. Never gave you a break of structure. Right? On the lower time frame, price gave you a change of character. Never gave you a break. It just gave you the inducement. So same thing that's going on now. Price still hasn't given us the break of structure. It just gave us the inducement, which is what's happening right now. So now, if price already for the day STP has already been hit, I'm done looking at US 30. I'm not taking a trade. But there's only two things that could happen here. Either price is going to give you the inducement of the highs to continue this downtrend push back to the bottom, or price is going to give us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and this is where price is going to continue those uptrend pushes. There's only two things that could happen. Once you realize and once you understand that there's only two things that could happen, either the trend or a zone of consolidation, yo, trading gets so much easier, and understanding why it is that you're looking for what you're looking for. Because if you don't give yourself that reason as to why things need to happen, then you're never going to be able to catch a trade. You're not going to be able to feel confident in taking those trades. So, again, trading, 90% of trading is being patient. There's nothing more to it. Like, it's not, trading isn't 90% you going into a trade. No, trading is 90% being patient, waiting for something to happen, waiting for the confirmations. Once you get the confirmations, then you take the trade. There's no other way to really put that. So we'll see what happens here. Again, STP has already been hit for US 30. Once again, we could go through every single pair one by one. You know, everything that we've talked about from the beginning of the week till now, you guys could see that everything is happening exactly how it needs to happen. Right? Everybody, oh, there's an engulfing candle on AUD CAD. I'm gonna take this going short. You know, you're still in this position. You got into this position at 8:30. An hour and 20 minutes later, you're still in this position, and price is going in profit, break even, in profit, break even, like for the last hour. You know, I don't like trading like that. When I take a trade, I want to make sure that I could take the trade, close my eyes, and then when I open them up again in 2 minutes, it's already at TP. But like, we understand that these areas in the charts, this is where the market makers are just trapping traders every single time. So why would I put myself in a position to enter in a position where I know it's not going to work out? Like, we know price isn't going to give us the move that we're looking for. We already know that. We just got to be patient now. Price already gave us what we wanted to see in the beginning of the week. Cool. Now we have to wait for the next one to develop. Once the next move is developed, then we start looking to take those trades again. Right? The GBP pairs hit ADR early. Right? NU still down here. There's really nothing new, guys. It's the same thing. And we see how differently these pairs are moving too. Usually the indexes all move the same, right? US 30, S&P, NAS 100. Usually they'll move the same. But look at what S&P is doing, moving completely opposite. High, low, change of character, high, change of character, low, change of character, lower, high. Then price gave us a lower low. Didn't give us a lower low break though until price gave us here. So technically on S&P we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, and then price gave us a lower high here already. Right? So S&P is still on a downtrend. Very different than what US 30 looks like, right? US 30 we're still on an uptrend. Right? Even if we go and look at let's look at NAS real quick. Right? S&P is moving very similarly to NAS. We had high, higher low, higher high. Then we had lower low change of character, lower high, and then we had lower low break of structure. Right? Lower high, oh, wrong tool. Right? Lower low, lower high, boom, lower low. Then price gave us lower high. Right? Straight down to the bottom. They're moving completely different than what US 30 is doing. And that's okay. That's okay. Damn, Tesla was good. Right, Tesla gave us a change to the bottom on the daily time frame. Then it gave us a change back to the top side, higher high, higher low. You know, if Tesla wants to give us another break above these highs, gives us a valid break, we know we'll have price continue that push to the top side. In this current position where we're at with Tesla is not something I'm looking to trade in this area. Let's look at NVIDIA real quick. Right, crazy gap at the market open, so nothing to trade there. Apple, let's take a look. Right, Apple's at a higher high. At the highest point right now with Apple. Still on an uptrend. At one point we're higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Then price gave us a break of structure, higher high. Right, after a higher high is made, what are we looking for? We're looking for a higher low. See if there's anything here that we could snatch. Right, no engulfing candles on the higher time frames. Let's start looking at the structure on a day-to-day basis as well. Right, we had higher high, higher low, higher high. We have a little shoulder head shoulder. Price gave us a valid break. It gave us a change of character. Right, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then it gave us a change of character, lower low. Gave us a lower high. And then we were looking for a valid break. It gave us that valid break, lower low. And now we're looking for a lower high point to be set. Boom. Now we know we're looking for a lower high point to be set. What do we see? Well, we see the 50 crossing below the 200. Perfect. On Apple, where are we? We know Apple's at the highest point. So we know that we're going to be looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. On or around the 50 EMA. Right now we're bouncing off of it on the 4 hour. We're bouncing off of it on the 1 hour. Cool. Now I'm going to start looking for my other entry points. My other entry criterias. Engulfing candles. Let's see if there's any. Nothing on the 30. On the 15, there's nothing on the 15. Let's go to the 5 minute. Currently nothing on the 5 minute either. Let's go to the 1 minute and look at 1 minute structure as well. And I don't really trust the 1 minute engulfing candles on these bigger pairs. But again, when I'm looking for structure, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price gave us a change of character here, right to the top side. It gave us this change of character, and technically all of this is still part of the same trend, right, all the way to the top side. 1 minute time frame for today. Let's see what price could do. I'm gonna keep this open here. That's gonna be an interesting pair to keep an eye on. Let me go to silver real quick. Silver already hit ADR for the day. Platinum already hit ADR for the day. So there's nothing else really to trade here. NQ is the same as an AS. So on this screen, I want to keep Apple open. We'll keep an eye on this and see what happens. Would have loved to have seen that 1 minute engulfing. That would have been perfect. And then on this page, we'll continue to look at US 30 real quick. Again, US 30 already hit STP for the day. Gave us that change of character on the 5 minute time frame. Gave us an engulfing candle on the 30 minute. I am going to mark this up. Why am I going to mark this up and why is this important? Again, on the 5 minute time frame, We're looking for a change of character to happen, which we did get. Right, this is the change of character here. Changes to blue since it's on an uptrend. But again, guys, that's pretty much it, man. Again, what I really wanted to do for today was just again turn the stream on, show you guys how it is that I approach the markets, especially on mornings where there's nothing to trade. This is exactly what I do. It takes me what, about 10 minutes to go through each and every single pair, break them down, see what it is that I have to be looking for. Like, it's trading in the morning is the most simplest thing you could do. Get onto the charts, see if there's anything left. If there's anything left, those are the pairs you focus on. If there's nothing left, there's nothing left. Right? It takes you 10 minutes to go through the pairs. Everything already hit ADR, everything already hit STP. What is there else left to do on the day? There's nothing left. Right? Think of it as a to-do list. On the to-do list for today on US 30, it was promised to us 3,000 years ago that 324 pips was going to be STP for the day. Cool. You wake up, what was promised to us 3,000 years ago already happened. 324 pips for the day. Okay, cool. There's nothing left. Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow, there's something else that was promised to us. Tomorrow, we'll look at ADR. We'll look at the STP. It should be around the same area, 320, 330 pips. And then tomorrow, when we wake up and we look at the charts again, we know, okay, cool. US 30 is going to give us 330 pips today. If price gave us 330 pips already by the time NYC open, we have nothing left. But if we wake up and price has only given us 100 pips and price hasn't given us any moves, it's just consolidating, we're still good to go. Again, the same shit that happened yesterday, right? Price is just consolidating, didn't give us no moves until the NYC session. Then cool, I'll take the trade during the NYC session. And once again, this isn't common behavior. It's not common behavior for price on US 30 to move during Asia session or London session. It's not common. Could it happen? Absolutely. We've seen it happen almost this entire year for US 30. I'll say 60% of the time this year, US 30 has moved during Asia and London. But again, we're in different market conditions. You have to understand, different market conditions are going to have different moves. So, again, that's pretty much it, team. If nobody has any questions in the chat, no other pairs you guys want me to go over, no trades that you guys took that you want me to explain or go over, whether they're winning or losing trades. Again, there is no such thing as losses in the market. Every loss in the market is just a lesson, right? So if you guys are still taking lessons in the charts, then that's a good thing. That means you still have a lot more to learn. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So again, I'll give you guys, what time is it? 10:05. I'll give you guys till 10:10. I'll give you guys another 5 minutes. Any questions, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. Anything you guys want me to explain. Anything that didn't make sense that I just talked about that you want me to reiterate or explain again, let me know. If not, that'll be it for this morning, and we'll be back again tonight for the isolation session, team. Alright guys, since there's no more questions in chat, we'll see you guys later tonight for the isolation session. Peace out.